Good morning. Hi, everyone. It's Miss Becky, and I am wearing my mask when I'm around other people here at the library. And today, my mask is special because I'm wearing a mask that looks like our Wyoming sky. Here are some buttes, some tall cliffs, just like we have here near Green River. And our sunset sky with purple and yellow and orange clouds. And then I put my mask back on when it's time to help you check out books or put some new grab and go bags out and all of our fun stuff. So I thought I'd show you that we can have lots of fun masks too. So today's story time is all about Wyoming, which is where we live. I'm from the Sweetwater County Library, and I wanted to show you this. Ooh, we've got lots of sunlight today. There we go. It says L, and then there's a square. That is the shape of our state, Wyoming, VE. So it says love with a heart right where Sweetwater County is. And those are in our grab and go bags this week. And before we start reading some books, I thought we would look at some different shapes, some different things that maybe are important here in Wyoming. Here we have a buffalo, a bison, and there's one of these on our Wyoming state flag. They live here in Wyoming. Oh boy, I bet somebody can tell me, what is this thing? Do you know what this is? It's a cowboy hat. And, oh, how about these? What do these look like to you? Cowboy boots. And all of those are in our grab and go bag this week. You can make an I Love Sweetwater County wreath in the grab and go bag. And you can paint some rocks to look like cactuses from the White Mountain Library. And you can make lots of fun fairy things from the Rock Springs Library. The grab and go bags are really cool this week. Now, Wyoming became a state 130 years ago just this last month, which is pretty cool. I don't know too many things that are 130 years old. So I thought we would read some books about being cowboys, since we're the cowboy state. And let's start with kind of a silly book. This book is called Cowboy Car. Now, boys can be cowboys, and girls can be cowboys and cowgirls. But have you ever heard of a cowboy car? This book is by Jeannie Franz Ransom. Cowboy Car. Ever since he was knee-high to his daddy's hubcap, little Car wanted to be a cowboy. Growing up in a crowded city garage, little Car had seen cowboys on TV. He loved their big, wide hats and their pointy-toed boots. Unlike little Car, cowboys had lots of space where they lived in a place called Out West. Sometimes they even slept under the stars. When little Car went outside, it was noisy and busy. Sometimes he couldn't even hear his own horn. I like living in Wyoming where it's quiet. Cars can't be cowboys, everyone told little Car. Little Car's dad wanted him to follow his tracks and be a taxi cab in the city. His mom wanted him to be a family car and settle down in a garage close to home. But little Car couldn't stop dreaming about driving the range with other cowboys, herding cattle by day and circling up around the campfire at night. So, when little Car got A lot bigger, he decided to pack his trunk and head out west. Don't forget to stop at red lights, honked Dad. Keep your doors locked, Mom called as her windshield wipers sped up to catch her tears. The first thing Little Car did out west was look for a real cowboy hat. Howdy, Little Car said in his best cowboy voice. I need a hat, please. I think you're going to need a 50-gallon hat, the man said. I don't have one that big. How about that one? Said Little Car asked. I reckon I can sell it to you, the man said. Thank you kindly, Little Car said. Little Car drove around until he found a ranch. There were cowboys everywhere, all wearing hats just like his. My name's Dusty, said a cowboy. What can I do you for, buckaroo? I'm here to be a cowboy. Cars can't be cowboys. They can't ride horses, Dusty said. Little Car's bumpers drooped. It was true. He couldn't ride a horse. It's a shame, too, Dusty said. We could use an extra hand. Little Car's clear gears clicked. Let me prove I can do it. I'll give you a try, Dusty said. Come back tomorrow. The next morning, Little Car watched cowboys twirl ropes in the air, race around barrels, and try to ride something called a mechanical bull. Yee-haw! Yippee! Get along, little doggies, Little Car shouted. The cowboys laughed. Come on, Dusty said. It's time to see what you can do. Let's see how quick you are, Dusty said. Little Car zoomed around the barrels in no time. He was used to making quick turns around tight corners in the city. Not bad, Dusty said. The next day, Dusty gave Little Car some cowboy chores. Let's see how strong you are, he said. Little Car had plenty of power in his engine. Maybe a little too much power. Later, Dusty took Little Car out on the range. Let's see how fast you can round up those little doggies. Better hurry, it's getting dark. Little Car wasn't worried about the dark. He had headlights. You did a pretty good job this week, Dusty said that night. Let's see how you do at the rodeo. Little Car did a break dance. Was he finally going to be a cowboy? The next morning, Little Car helped carry a few things to the rodeo. But the man told Little Car, you can't be in the rodeo unless you ride a horse. Aw, shucks. I'm sorry, Dusty said. I hope you'll stay to watch me ride Double Trouble. He's the biggest, meanest bull you've ever seen. So Little Car stayed. The bull that came out, bucking and kicking, didn't look anything like the one back at the ranch. This bull was real. Dusty went up and came down with a big thud. The rodeo clown couldn't get to him. Double Trouble turned and headed straight towards Dusty. Oh no, Little Car thought, Dusty needs help. Oh boy. With tires squealing, horn honking, and the radio blasting, Little Car got everyone's attention, including the bull. Little Car turned left, right, then swerved, stopped, backed up, and drove around and around until the bull's snorts turned into snores. He saved Dusty. After the rodeo, everyone wanted to talk to Little Car. So, is it true that you're a cowboy at the Circle R Ranch? A reporter asked. Before Little Car could answer, Dusty came over. He sure is, Dusty said. In fact, he's my partner. Little Car grinned from gear to gear. He really could be a cowboy. That afternoon, a video of Little Car went viral on YouTube. Back at the garage, Little Car's parents were surprised to see their son on TV. That's our boy, Mom said. That's our cowboy, Dad said. And Little Car drove off into the sunset, home on the range at last. Yeehaw! Now, I don't know about you, but have you ever been on a horse before? A horse is very, very tall, and I'm a little scared of heights. But I have a fun book about riding on a horse. And this is a super fun book. So, if you're a kid, you can sit on someone's lap and they can bounce, 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 bounce. Or if you are too big to sit on someone's lap, you can grab some reins and we're going to giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. And you can go as fast as you can. And this book is called Clip Clop by Nicola Smee. Are you ready? Who wants a ride? Asked Mr. Horse. Me, please, says Cat. All right, ready? We're gonna clip, clop, clip, clop. Clip, clop, clippity, clop. I want a ride too, please, Mr. Horse, says Dog. Up you get, says Mr. Horse. We're gonna go faster. Clip, clop, clippity, clop, clip, clop, clippity, clop. What about me? I want a ride too, please, Mr. Horse, says Pig. Up you get, says Mr. Horse. Ready? Clip, clop, clippity, clop, clip, clop, clippity, clop, clip, clop, clippity, clop. Don't leave me behind, says Duck. Up you get, says Mr. Horse. Can you go a little faster, Mr. Horse? Asked Cat and Dog and Pig and Duck. Of course I can, says Mr. Horse, but make sure you hold on tight. Oh boy, let's go even faster. Ready? Clip, clop, clippity, clop, faster, faster. Clip, clop, clippity, clop, clip, clop, clippity, clop, clip, clop, clippity, clop. Whew. Oh no, even faster. Ready? Clip, clop, clippity, clop, clip, clop, clippity, clop, clip, clop, clippity, clop. Whoa, stop, we're falling off, squealed Cat and Dog and Pig and Duck. Mr. Horse skids to a halt, and Cat and Dog and Pig and Duck fly through the air and land in a haystack. Plop, plop, ploppity, plop. Whew. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dearie me, says worried Mr. Horse. Again, cried Cat and Dog and Pig and Duck. Up you get, laughs Mr. Horse, and Cat and Dog and Pig and Duck go riding off again. Ready? One last time. Clip, clop, clippity, clop, clip, clop, clippity, clop, clip, clop, clippity, clop. The end. That is a fun book to read, especially if you get to do lots of bouncing. All right. Well, let's see. I have, what book should we read next? I have a lot of choices here. I think we are gonna read the Cowboy ABC because here in Green River in Rock Springs in Wyoming, you probably get to see a lot of these things. The Cowboy ABC. A is for Appaloosa, a trusty steed, B is for buckaroo, who rides at top speed. C are the cattle that follow the trail. D is the dog wagging his tail. E is for elk, majestic and fleet. F is for the farrier, who shoes the horse's feet. G is the guitar strumming late at night. H is the hat that's pulled way down tight. I is for Indian paintbrushes in bloom. J is for the jingle bobs jiggling a tune. Those are on the back of the spurs. K is for a kerchief to keep dust away. L is for the lariat that brings back the stray. M is for the mesa rising up so high, just like the one I have on my mask. N are the nighthawks that circle the sky. O is the oilcloth slick when it rains. An oilcloth is like a raincoat. P are the prairie dogs. They live on the plains. Q is for quirk. Give a crack of the whip. R is for reins. Hang on tight. Let her rip. S is for saddle. Mounted with ease. T is for tumbleweed. Tossed by the breeze. U, Union Pacific, its steam whistle sings. V is for vest that can hold many things. The Union Pacific Railroad is the railroad in our town. W's the wagon where all the meals are made. X is the mark cowboys make to get paid. Y is for yearlings, by their mothers they stay, and Z is the sound at the end of the day. Good night, cowboys. When I read that book, I thought, hey, I know a lot of those things, like the railroad, because I like watching the trains go by. And if you go out into the mountains, you'll probably see lots and lots of Indian paintbrushes. They're beautiful flowers here in Wyoming. And now I think we will end with one more book, because this is all about those tumbleweeds that we saw in the book I just read. Let's look at that page. Do you see these big old circles? They're pokey and the wind blows them all over Wyoming. Sometimes I see them on the road. And tumbleweeds, they're dry and crunchy, and I don't think they would be very good to eat. I thought we would read this book, Tumbleweed Stew. Do you think you could put a tumbleweed in some water and boil it into some delicious soup, into a stew? I don't know. But this is by Susan Stevens Crummell, and it's illustrated by Janet Stevens. And this is Jackrabbit. Jackrabbit opened his eyes. He stretched and looked up at the pretty blue sky. Jack's tummy growled. He thought, the sun is up, the sky is blue. What a great day for tumbleweed stew. He hopped along, jumped over bushes and cactus. Can I tell you a secret? Jack, he is kind of a trickster. Oh man. Before too long, he came to a big gate. Over the gate, it said Two Circle Ranch. Jack slipped under the fence and into a herd of cattle. Moo, said Longhorn. Move on. Well, howdy, Jack said. How do you do? Would you like some tumbleweed stew? There's no such thing as tumbleweed stew, said Longhorn, munching on the dry grass. Not a nice place, thought Jack. He ran down the path to the ranch house. Anybody home? He called. No, he heard from inside. Go away. How about some lunch? Asked Jack. Armadillo came out onto the porch. This is my ranch, she said. This is my food and you can't have any. Jack took a chance. He said, but I would like to cook for you. Have you ever heard of tumbleweed stew? There's no such thing as tumbleweed stew, Armadillo said. Before Armadillo could blink, Jack started a fire. He spied an old pot and filled it with water. He set the pot of water on the fire. After a while, he stuffed a big tumbleweed into the pot. Armadillo looked into the pot. Jack took a taste and said, "It smells so good. Oh, it tastes so good too. But it needs more, this tumbleweed stew." "Well," said Armadillo, "there might be some carrots in my house." Soon the tumbleweed and carrots were cooking in the big pots. Oh, do you like carrots in your soup? I do. Buzzer floated down to take a look. "I can smell this food way up in the sky. It needs onions," he said. "I'll fly home and get some." Soon, the tumbleweed, carrots, and onions were cooking in the big pots. Then Deer trotted over and looked into the pot. "This stew needs corn," he said. "I'll be right back." Soon the tumbleweed, carrots, onions, corn were cooking in the big pots. Oh, this is starting to sound really yummy. Skunk scampered up to the pot. "Smells good," she said, "but where are the potatoes? I'll go dig some up." Soon the tumbleweed, carrots, onions, corn, and potatoes were cooking in the big pots. Rattlesnake slithered over with some celery. "You can't make stew without celery," he said. Soon the tumbleweed, carrots, corn, onions, potatoes, and celery were cooking in the big pots. Whistles. That sounds so yummy. Armadillo, Buzzard, Deer, Skunk, and Rattlesnake gathered around the pot of stew. They watched it bubble and steam. At last, Jack cried, "It took a while, but thanks to you, it's time to eat this tumbleweed stew." The animals ate and ate until every bite of stew was gone. Armadillo couldn't move. Buzzard couldn't fly. Deer couldn't trot. Skunk couldn't scamper. And Rattlesnake couldn't slither. They put their heads down and fell asleep. Jack slept too, but not for long. Jack Rabbit opened his eyes. He stretched and he looked up at the pretty blue sky. His tummy growled. And he thought, "Another day for being sly. What a great day for cactus pie." The end. That jackrabbit, he's pretty tricky, isn't he? All he brought was a tumbleweed for that stew, and all the other animals brought all the other delicious ingredients. He's pretty tricky. Well, thank you for joining me for a story time. If you are at home, you can make your own tumbleweed stew and put lots of delicious vegetables in some broth and cook it up and try it. And we will have lots more programming right here for you this week. On Thursday, there's a Crafting with Constance. On Friday morning, there's Stories with Sunny. At 2 p.m., Monday through Friday, Mr. Aaron is reading us a chapter book. And I will be back next week with another Toddler Time. Thank you all for joining me. Remember to come to all the libraries and get your grab and go bags. And have a happy summer. Bye, everyone.